Drive My Car, Japanese, Doraibu Mai Ka, Hepburn, Doraibu Mai Ka, is a 2021 Japanese drama film co-written and directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi. It is primarily based on Haruki Murakami's short story of the same name from his 2014 short story collection Men Without Women, while taking inspiration from other stories in it. The film follows Yusuke Kafuku, played by Hidetoshi Nishijima, as he directs a multilingual production of Uncle Vanya in Hiroshima and grapples with the death of his wife Otto. The film received widespread critical acclaim, with many declaring it one of the best films of 2021. The film had its world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, where it was selected to compete for the Palme d'Or and won 3 awards including Best Screenplay. It earned 4 nominations at the 94th Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best International Feature Film, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It is the first Japanese film nominated for Best Picture. At the 79th Golden Globe Awards, the film won Best Foreign Language Film. Plot: Yusuke Kafuku is a theater actor married to Otto, a film screenwriter. They previously lost a 4-year-old daughter to pneumonia. Otto comes up with the plot for her screenplays during sex, and narrates them to her husband, who remembers the plot and tells it back to her the next morning when he drives her to work. Otto brings a young actor she works with, Koji Takatsuki, to see Yusuke perform in a production of Beckett's play Waiting for Godot, and Takatsuki compliments his performance and the innovative method by which different actors portray their parts in different languages. When Yusuke's flight is cancelled on his way to a conference, he comes home early, and finds his wife having an affair with a young man. They do not appear to see Yusuke standing in the doorway, and he leaves silently and stays at a hotel until his rescheduled flight. When Otto calls him that night, he pretends he has already reached his destination. 2 weeks later, Yusuke comes back from his trip and is involved in a car accident on the drive home. Otto meets him at the hospital, and they are told that Yusuke has glaucoma in one eye, causing vision loss. Yusuke still does not tell Otto that he saw her with another man. They both continue to work, and Otto continues to narrate her stories to him during sex. One day, as Yusuke is leaving for work, Otto tells him she wants to talk to him that night when he comes home. When Yusuke returns later that day, he finds Otto collapsed on the floor, dead from a brain hemorrhage. Yusuke sees Takatsuki at her funeral and they speak briefly about Otto. Sometime after this, Yusuke has a breakdown in the middle of a performance of Chekhov's play Uncle Vanya and is unable to continue the show. 2 years later, Yusuke accepts a 2-month residency with a theater program in Hiroshima, where he will direct a multilingual adaptation of Uncle Vanya. The theater company requires that Yusuke be accompanied by a driver, a 23-year-old woman, Masaki Watari, due to a previous artist having hit a pedestrian with their vehicle. He objects at first, possessive of his bright red Saab 900, and unwilling to interrupt his memorization technique of practicing his lines while driving, using a tape Otto had recorded for him with the other characters' lines. He relents after a test drive reveals Watari is a skilled driver and she doesn't interrupt his memorization. Yusuke auditions many actors for the play in a variety of languages, including a mute actress who uses Korean Sign Language to portray Sonia. Takatsuki comes to the audition, wanting to work with Yusuke and have an opportunity to act after a scandal ruined his career. Yusuke casts Takatsuki in the lead role as Uncle Vanya despite his young age. The early rehearsals are awkward because of the language difficulties, and when asked for specific direction on the scenes, Yusuke only tells his actors to stick to the text. Takatsuki asks Yusuke to meet with him after rehearsal to talk, and they go to a bar at Takatsuki's hotel. They discuss Otto, and Takatsuki's admiration for her work, and belief that Yusuke is doing something similar with his plays. Takatsuki admits to loving Otto but denies sleeping with her. Takatsuki's erratic behavior concerns Yusuke, as he witnesses the young man assaulting someone for taking pictures of him. Yusuke and Watari become closer as Yusuke tells her about his wife, and the loss of their daughter, who would be the same age Watari is now if she had lived. Watari tells him about her abusive mother, who taught her to drive but beat her for driving poorly, and tells Yusuke about her mother's death in a mudslide 5 years ago. After a rehearsal, Takatsuki asks to speak with Yusuke again. They have a drink at a bar, where someone takes photos of Takatsuki again and he threatens them. Yusuke tells him to leave, and offers him a ride home. As Watari drives, Yusuke and Takatsuki sit in the back and continue their conversation. Yusuke reveals that he knew of his wife's affairs but didn't say anything because he was afraid of losing her. Takatsuki expresses admiration for her writing, and shares a story she told him that Yusuke had never heard the ending to before. Some time later, the police arrive at a rehearsal and arrest Takatsuki for killing another man who was taking pictures of him. The theater programmers press Yusuke to step into the role of Vanya despite his concerns. They give him 2 days to make up his mind. Yusuke asks Watari to drive him someplace he can think, and asks if she will take him to the place where her family died. After a multiple-day journey, they arrive at the collapsed ruins of her childhood home. Watari reveals that her mother had split personalities that would appear after beating Watari, and that she had the opportunity to save her mother from a mudslide that collapsed the house, but chose not to. Yusuke also expresses deep sorrow for not returning home earlier on the night his wife died, believing he might have been able to save her. They comfort each other, with Yusuke saying they have to go on living. They then return to Hiroshima, where Yusuke assumes the role of Vanya and gives an impassioned performance before a live audience including Watari. As a coda, in the present day Watari shops for groceries at a supermarket in South Korea. She returns to the parking lot and gets into the bright red car, where a dog waits for her in the back seat. Cast Hidetoshi Nishijima as Yusuke Kafuku, Toko Miura as Masaki Watari, Masaki Okada as Koji Takatsuki, Reika Kirishima as Otto Kafuku, Kafuku's wife Park Yu-rim as Lee Yu-na, Satoko Abe as Yuhara Jin De-yeon as Gong Yoon-soo, Sonya Yuan as Janice Chong. Production. The 2021 Japanese drama film is directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who co-wrote the script with Takamasa Oh. It is primarily based on the short story of the same name by Haruki Murakami from his 2014 short story collection, Men Without Women. The script also features elements from Murakami's stories, Scheherazade, and Kino, both also part of Men Without Women. The film was originally set in Busan, South Korea, but was changed to Hiroshima due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Hamaguchi wished to incorporate the Beatles song, Drive My Car, which the film and story are named after. However, it was too difficult to get permission for its usage. Hamaguchi instead included a string quartet by Beethoven, which is directly referenced in Murakami's original story. The original story features a yellow Saab 900 convertible, but it was changed in the film to a red Saab 900 Turbo to visually complement the Hiroshima landscape. Release and reception. Drive My Car had its world premiere at the 2021 Cannes Film Festival in competition for the Palme d'Or. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 98% of 145 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 8.6/10. The website's critics' consensus reads, Drive My Car's imposing runtime holds a rich, patiently engrossing drama that reckons with self-acceptance and regret. According to Metacritic, which assigned a weighted average score of 91 out of 100 based on 39 critics, the film received universal acclaim. The film received a positive review from Manohla Dargis in the New York Times. Writing for The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw gave the film 5 stars out of 5 and called it an engrossing and exalting experience. Accolades. The film was selected to compete for the Palme d'Or at the 2021 Cannes Film Festival, where it won 3 awards including Best Screenplay. Hamaguchi and Oh became the first Japanese individuals to win the Best Screenplay award at Cannes. At the 79th Golden Globe Awards, the film won Best Foreign Language Film. It was picked as the Japanese entry for the Best International Feature Film at the 94th Academy Awards, making the December 2021 shortlist. It was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director for Hamaguchi, Best International Feature Film, and Best Adapted Screenplay for Hamaguchi and co-screenwriter Takamasa Oh. It is the first Japanese film nominated for Best Picture, and Hamaguchi is the third Japanese director nominated for Best Director since Hiroshi Teshigahara in 1965 and Akira Kurosawa in 1985. It became the latest, and the first non-English language film, of the only 6 to win Best Picture from all 3 major U.S. critics groups, LA, NY, NSFC, the other 5 being Goodfellas, Schindler's List, LA Confidential, The Social Network and The Hurt Locker. See also List of submissions to the 94th Academy Awards for Best International Feature Film. List of Japanese submissions for the Academy Award for Best International Feature Film. References. External links. Drive My Car at IMDb. Drive My Car on Rotten Tomatoes.